Is coming up next here on FS1. Let's head over to Colin Cowherd. Colin, what's on the show today?
Oh, great Friday show. Russell Westbrook. Oh, boy, we'll talk about that. Plus, an NFL team and a really important NFL team finally figured out how to play the draft game. That's coming up.
Thanks, Colin. Time for our final topic of the day. Apparently, Baker Mayfield holds a grudge. Sports Illustrated reported that Baker keeps a list of media members who he feels crossed the line with their criticism. He also makes screenshots of offending tweets and uses all of this for motivation. So petty. Shannon, do you like Baker doing this?
Can we stop trying to make Baker Mayfield unique? Most athletes or most people that's accomplished something will use something that's been said about them in a negative manner and use that as motivation. The ultimate guy, Skip, you said Michael Jordan. Even slights that did not exist, he would use it as motivation to get him in that place. So it doesn't matter. Whatever's going to get you to the place that you can be most successful, use it. And if I'm one of those voices, you're more than welcome to use it. But Baker Mayfield, you're not unique in this manner, okay? And I want people to stop trying to make you unique because you're not.
By the way, LeBron James made a list in his hotel room in Dallas after Game 3 of the 2011 Finals when they're up 2-1.
Yeah.
These are the people I'm going to tell off. I was told by several sources I was near the top of that list, if not at the top.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
You know what he did?
Yeah.
That's what, and he told me. He said, "I want you to do it."
Yeah.
So now they hired me. So
so
I'm the voice. I'm the mouthpiece. I keep LeBron away from the fray.
Yeah, I think yours is quote number one for Baker Mayfield, his rocket fuel, and he probably is going to wind up with your Broncos, and then you're going to have to root for him and against him at the same time.
He can't be mad at me because he's 5'10" and a half. He's not growing
He's
anymore.
not 5'10" and a half. He's 6 foot and a half.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
he's going to become your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
And he thanks you for all the rocket
for motivation.
fuel.
That's not unique. I use it for motivation too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being born in the woods like I was born in. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what happens when the Broncos take him?
Yeah. You're going
to
to be in
stop,
big
you
trouble.
have to shake his hand.
Big
Sorry about all the things I said about you. That's it for us. We'll be back Monday morning at 9:30 Eastern. Right now, Colin Cowherd tells you why the New York Giants are trying to fool everyone. The Herd starts now.
This is The Herd, wherever you may be and however you may be listening, live in Los Angeles on a Friday. iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. Christine Leahy is joining me. We've had a really interesting week with a lot of NFL movement, a lot of draft speculation, some NBA stories of note. Also today we have the documentarian for the Andre the Giant, I think it's HBO documentary, which is supposed to be fantastic. It aired last night in Hollywood. And the MJ documentary creator, Jason Hare, will be joining us. That's fun today.
That is fun. What's not fun is what I think you might start talking about behind you. I was really not looking forward to it.
Well, before I get to Westbrook, I'm gonna start with the NFL.
Okay, fine.
All right, so I want to start with the NFL. Two groups of people are lied to in America every April. Every April in America, two groups are lied to. NFL reporters right before the draft and IRS employees right before tax day. Hey, they get lied to. If you're an NFL reporter, don't be offended by it. They lie to the most popular reporters. They use those reporters. Peter King, Jay Glazer, Shefty, Peter Schrager, Chris Mortensen, because they know those reporters are a bullhorn for the league. Everybody's reading them. So they tell them things, and there's messaging. We talked about this earlier this week. So get about 3 weeks, a month before the draft. Especially this draft is really interesting because there's a bunch of quarterbacks, and it's a really quarterback class. I think 3 of the 4 top guys can be really good, and a bunch of teams need quarterbacks. So the New York Giants just didn't get this whole process. They just didn't really get it. You think they would. They're the New York Giants, right? A lot of Super Bowls, a lot of history, a lot of great stories, fans, history, blue blood, all that stuff. But they didn't get it. In a quarterback class rich with running backs, the Giants are like advertising, we're going to take a running back number 2. Even if you were, why are you talking about it? Why would you do that? You're not scaring anybody. What you want to create with that number 2 pick, is panic. You want to say, I tell you what, we're going to draft a quarterback. Then Denver at 5 freaks out. Miami at 11 freaks out. Arizona doesn't have a quarterback, freaks out. Buffalo freaks out. Let's get the Giants pick. Let's give them a bunch of picks. Oh, my God. But the Giants just couldn't figure it out. Yeah, we're not even taking a quarterback. We're not even interested. We're going to take a running back, and there's a bunch of them. What are you doing? Finally this week, the New York Giants, Dave Gettleman, figured out how to play the game. There are certain times in life you play the game. Be nice to in-laws, even if they drive you crazy. You play the game. In the NFL before the draft, play the game. If you have a top 5 pick, if you don't need a quarterback, say you're thinking about drafting a quarterback. Just tell them that. Play the game. And what do you know? Peter Schrager, very, very well connected, widely distributed, has a new mock draft today. And what do you know? He's got the Giants taking a quarterback. Think he just made that up? I'm going to go, no, he didn't. The New York Giants, Peter Schrager's in New York. He's got amazing contacts. He may have talked to people of note. Finally, even if you want Saquon Barkley, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. You can get, there's 7 running backs that are going to make the NFL out of this draft, and they're all unique and really good. Georgia's got 2. Ronald Jones out of USC. Kid out of Miami I like a lot. There is a game to play here. The New York Giants, in the last 36 hours, finally figured it out. First thing they did, leaked a story to Adam Schefter. OBJ, first-round pick, second-round pick. We'd be interested. Spread the news through a bullhorn. Spread the news. Take calls. Now through Schrager. New mock draft. They're taking Josh Allen. You know who's freaking out? Buffalo's freaking out. They like him. Arizona's freaking out. Nobody's going to be left. Miami at 11's got Tannehill. They want to draft a quarterback. They're freaking out this morning. Denver's like, damn, thought we'd get lucky. Got to play the game, man. New York Giants. Philadelphia is really well run. Dallas has a very interesting roster. Washington now has Alex Smith. Giants, you're in jeopardy if you don't figure this game out. If you don't figure out manipulation, you're in great danger of being a 4th-place team for several years. This week, light went on. Giants figured it out. All right. I know what you're saying. Colin, when Russell Westbrook will score 30 and you won't say anything. But when he's, a little off late, you always lead with it. That's why I didn't lead with it today. But it needs to be noted because he is the MV me. What did I say? He's the MV me. Whoa, I said it again. I'm sorry. MVP, my bad. Last night, close game against San Antonio, a team right now they would open with in the playoffs. Oklahoma City, San Antonio. Watch this sequence and apologize later to me.
Once again to the rack. No, kept away by Adams. Picked up by Westbrook. Russell on the wing, a 3 short and out of bounds. Sailing away. A second air ball from 3 in this 4th quarter.
Westbrook shooting only 29% on the year. I don't know if you're Billy Donovan, you might have wanted to call a timeout right there in a situation like that. Try to get the ball to Paul George or Carmelo Anthony, 2 better 3-point shooters.
Yeah. Westbrook's the worst 3-point shooter in the league for those who qualify in number of attempts. Paul George had just hit one, was shooting 50% for the night, 40% for the year. He was on the floor. Carmelo and Paul George last night, 6 for 9 on threes. Westbrook, with zero self-awareness, came down, and the worst 3-point shooter in the league hoisted a 3. The MV me. Yeah, this is what I say, folks. You say I'm a hater. Here are the 3 things I have said, and you can apologize at any point. He is remarkably dynamic. He is. He can at times be difficult to play with. Indisputable. and he is at times awful late in games, which is, I don't know, sort of all that matters in the playoffs. You can brand me and call me and claim I'm a lot of things, but what I am is accurate. He is dynamic. He is at times difficult to play with. Late in games, he can be embarrassingly bad. Did you look at Billy Donovan, the head coach? You ever notice that when you're frustrated? I do this. When I get frustrated, I start doing some body language. I start scratching. I get hot. I get angry with my kids. Billy Donovan is beside himself. But in Oklahoma City, nobody can yell at Russ. You can't scream at Russ. It's never Russ's fault. He has been babied. Remember the story, the well-written story that came out that Kevin Durant went to the organization several times and said, come on, confront him. He's a grown-up. They wouldn't do it because he's thin-skinned, has rabbit ears, and would overreact. And so Kevin Durant left. That's a story that's been published, that Durant, in fact, it may have been Adrian Wojnarowski, it was one of the top NBA guys, that Durant went to Oklahoma City and said, behind closed doors, guys, you're watching the same thing I am. We know he's talented. He's brutal late in games. I mean, I'm showing you several clips now of after that three-pointer. Just bad decisions. Chris Broussard came on our show, and he always defends him, and that's fine. He is the MVP. But Chris Broussard even acknowledged this on our show last week.
His weakness is the last 2 minutes of the game. I mean, there are other things you might talk about, you know, the way he plays, maybe not getting guys involved as much. But his weakness, and OKC knows it, is the last few minutes of the game, the decision-making. If they could change anything about him, it would be how you handle the decision-making in those last couple of minutes, because you don't play the last 2 minutes like you played minutes 24 and 25.
So they know it's an issue, and nobody will confront him. I mean, you can do that to people. If your son, your daughter, your husband, your wife has an issue, you can not confront it, but then don't be shocked when it repeats itself. I'm going to give you a number to think about. Westbrook and Oklahoma City are 13-1 this year when he shoots one three-pointer or fewer. They are 13-1. If he shoots more than that, they're 30-30. Keep on chucking, MV me. Westbrook's an MVP. Paul George is an all-star. Steven Adams is one of the game's best rebounders. In fact, currently leads the NBA in offensive rebounds, and Melo is a offensively gifted player. As of this morning, they won't get home court advantage in a single playoff series. And I'm the hater. Coming up next, a trade rumor with Gronk that I think has some real legs. That's coming up. When I say Dollar Shave Club, the first thing that pops into your head is an amazing, affordable shave. Well, now I'm about to blow your mind and blow up your bathroom because they want to own the bathroom. I mean, the razor thing, yeah. Executive 6-blade razor is amazing. I use it. Now they've got shave butter and shampoo. I use that. Body wash, and now they've introduced toothpaste. And right now you can join the club for the lowest price and the only time they'll offer this price. For just $5, and they'll include free shipping. $5, that's it. You'll get the 6-blade executive razor and trial sizes of the shave butter and the body cleanser, and I use both. Then you keep the blades coming, a few bucks more a month. Get yours at dollarshaveclub.com/Colin, C-O-L-I-N. Join the club, $5 free shipping, dollarshaveclub.com/Colin.
May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift.